Hi, my name is Max, I'm from Edge, and unless you've been living under a rock, you would have noticed that it's hot. It's really hot. And you would have also heard that Sydney and Australia are experiencing some of the most severe heatwave conditions ever recorded. Now, a lot of the work that we do is working with asset and portfolio managers as well as sustainability managers to develop up climate change adaptation and risk plans to help them understand how to manage and prepare for days like today. And we do that going through 4 key steps, so I thought I'd just quickly share with you what those 4 key steps are. First is helping them understand their portfolio. So what is their asset actually used for? Is an asset that can be shut down on days like today? Also helping them understand the local context of the asset. Is there bush around, or is there a local water source that might impact the local climate? Help them understand the local and future climate conditions. Then we help them understand the exposure and risk. So we do that through 4 lenses. We help them look at the risk to natural disasters and extreme weather, so bushfires, urban heat island, that sort of thing. We help them understand the impact on people. That might be in terms of impact on tenancy and tenancy health, or the impact on how the asset's used on a hot day like today, whether people are coming into a shopping centre, for example. We help them understand the structural and aesthetic impacts on things like maintenance and painting, things like that. We also help them understand the impact on things like operational cost and what the impacts of peak electricity demand and peak electricity cost might be. Then we help them develop up an adaptation plan. So that's looking at things like, are there any technology interventions, battery storage, cogen that they can use to help them reduce the impacts of, for example, rolling blackouts? Are there any asset management practices that can be put in place to help them reduce the peak load of the asset? Also, are there any communication practices they need to put in place to help them engage with their tenants to mitigate any risk that could occur there? And the final thing that you need to think about is implementing a heatwave management plan. So that's essentially a step-by-step guide of things that an asset manager needs to implement on a really hot day like today. And that could be looking at everything from the building management all the way through to emergency procedures. So that gives you an idea of some of the stuff we do in terms of climate change adaptation and resilience. If you want to ask more, feel free to get in touch, and we'll maybe have a meeting over here in one of our water-based meeting rooms to cool off. Thanks.